The first secret of creating killer content is to write like a 7th grader. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to simplify your writing without dumbing it down. So I want you to imagine for a second that you're back in grade school. Do you remember who your English teacher was? And do you remember what they taught you? All that stuff about prose and sophisticated sentence structure and proper syntax. Well, if you don't remember it, I actually want to say congratulations, because you won't need any of that crap when it comes to writing effectively. And if you do remember, well, then I want you to hit a big old delete button on that part of your memory, because it's time to forget all the flowery language that you learned back in school. Contrary to popular opinion, you won't need to sound like a Harvard professor, a philosophy major, or even a rocket scientist to be a great writer. You don't need to use sophisticated words that sound nice on paper, but nobody really says in person. Because great writers don't just make themselves sound smart, they make their audience feel smart. And there's a huge difference between the two. Consider this statistic that really blew my mind. Of all Americans, 50% of them read at an 8th grade reading level. And if that wasn't jaw-dropping enough, here's the kicker. Research shows that people actually prefer to read 2 grade levels below what they're actually capable of. Meaning when you're writing, it's actually better to aim lower for like 6th or 7th grade reading level. And it makes sense when you think about it, right? If a reader spends their mental energy trying to decode what you're writing, then it's much harder for them to enjoy it. You see, bad writers hide behind big words. They think they're impressing the readers when they're really just confusing them. I mean, if you had to put it on a matrix, it would kind of look like this. There's writing that makes you feel nothing versus writing that makes you feel something, whether that's inspired, informed, or entertained. It leaves you with an emotion. Then on the other axis, there's writing that's hard to read and writing that's easy to read. So if you look at the quadrants, writing that's hard to read but makes you feel something is like The Fountainhead, Pride and Prejudice, A Midsummer Night's Dream. You may feel like a champ after finishing these classics, but let's be honest, they can be a slog to get through because you constantly have to stop and look up different words. On the other hand, the other quadrant, there's writing that's hard to read but makes you feel nothing. And I gotta be honest, these are like research. They may include a lot of great information, but the key word here is feel. When's the last time you've been moved by a college thesis or an ICO white paper? I know I've been moved to sleep, but that's about it. And then in the other quadrant, there's writing that's easy to read but makes you feel nothing. And that may be like a boring children's book with no character development, moral message. Easy to get through, but doesn't really leave you with much. And then there's writing that makes you feel something and it's easy to get through. This is the golden territory. You see, most viral articles and best-selling books fall here. These authors educate, entertain, and inspire you in a way that makes you feel part of the story. And it's easy to get through, first and foremost. You know, think about it like this. When people get through a book or an article, what do they usually say? They say, I couldn't stop reading it. I couldn't stop putting it down. It was such a page turner, and so forth. And it's because great writing moves you along as much as it improves you. Your reader should enjoy themselves and not have to think as hard, even if they have the capability to read at a higher level. That's the key. That's why when I write, I stick to a 7th grade writing level. That doesn't mean I dumb down my writing. It means I distill it. I simplify it. And I'm not alone in doing this either. Take a look at this chart of the best-selling authors from the past 10 years. You know, whether you're a nonfiction writer, which is shown in blue, a fiction writer, which is shown in green, a politician, which is shown in purple, the research shows that great authors hover around writing at a 7th grade reading level. You know, Malcolm Gladwell writes at a 7th grade reading level, Sheryl Sandberg writes at a 7th grade reading level, and Ernest Hemingway writes at a 4th grade reading level. I mean, it's just astonishing to reflect on the research. And now, I know you may be thinking, well, John, how the heck do I know what my writing level is? It's not like I can magically paste my text into some app and it just tells me, right? Oh, but you can. And let me tell you this, my favorite tool, my secret weapon, if you will, is this app called the Hemingway app. It assigns an overall readability score to your text, tells you what's hard to read, gives you suggestions on what to edit. It's almost like having the world's best editor by your side 24/7, 365 days a year. It's a total game changer, right? As an example, let me show you how I use the Hemingway to edit writing for one of my clients who's a fashion blogger. So I went to hemingwayapp.com, pasted her text in, and this is what it said. When it comes to someone who is truly passionate about travel, fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, Chic Stylista is a website for you. Arfanza Khan, the fashionista behind Chic Stylista, was born and raised in Bangladesh. She now resides in sunny Miami with her family. The blog was founded back in 2013, and in a matter of only a few years, Afaroza Khan has been already featured in Cosmopolitan, Vogue.com, Racked, Lignite magazine, and much more. As a digital influencer, Afaroza loves to share her latest finds and loves in fashion, beauty, and travel. Oh my God. For business and all other inquiries, email us at, and she provided her email. I redacted it just to save her privacy. Okay, all right. Now that we've read her work, all right, no offense, and I told her this as well, but I nearly fell asleep reading that. I mean, what she says on paper does not capture how awesome she is in person, which is by far the biggest problem that most writers face today. So, once we put her writing into the Hemingway app, immediately we see that it's very hard to read and ranked at a 10th grade reading level. We need to bring that down, at least 3 grade levels. And so, I went through, I put it in the app, I used the suggestions to help inform how I should edit it. And here's what it looks like after I had a chance to edit it and bring it down to a 7th grade reading level. So, it says, nobody knows fashion, travel, and beauty better than Chic Stylista. Founded by Afaroza Khan, our site strives to empower you with the latest tips and trends. While we're proud of our features in Cosmopolitan and Vogue, we're most excited to have you here. Don't be shy. Say hello at, and I put her email down there. Again, you see how that's so much more personal, conversational. I mean, it just feels like you're having coffee with her right there. She's talking to you, and she's not boasting about her accomplishments. She's saying, you know, yeah, I've been in Vogue and Cosmopolitan, but what's most important is you. And I'm excited to talk with you and have you as part of this community. So the difference was night and day. Now, beyond the Hemingway app, I also want to share a checklist that I keep by my side to help with my writing, no matter what I'm doing.